Hello and welcome back to Spiderwick Chronicles. This is BioEnchanted, and today we'll be doing a lot of side quest related stuff. Let's get down to it, shall we? As well as exploring some relatively new areas as well. First though, it's time to visit some old areas. Because we've actually visited every area in the game by this point. There's just a couple of points that we couldn't get to before that we can get to now, or at least get to much faster. So first of all, we'll bring Simon down into the caves, because we were only down here as Jared before, and he has limited tools. Simon has all the tools, so he's the best to explore down here properly. Also, for the whole second half of the level, we were being chased by the big mean troll dude, so now that he's dead, we don't have to worry about that anymore, we can fully explore there too. Like how jovial Simon is about that kind of thing as well. That's gonna hurt. You know, he's really enjoying the whole thing now that he's able to properly fight on his own terms. He's probably feeling quite powerful, honestly, and I wouldn't blame him. Sweet dodge there, or the ruin there. I like the way that the leaves kind of jiggle as well on the branch. That's a cute little visual touch. They don't just, like, change colour or whatever. They actually start wobbling because they're starting to weaken. That's a neat way of theming it with the whole awesome thing. The fact that the leaves aren't just disappearing, they're actually molting as you get hurt. It's a neat way of drawing attention to the fact that you've lost health as well, but of course, here's one of the first things we couldn't do here before. A flowerhead sprite. Of which I have actually missed one. I don't know where it is. I know where they are, but I don't know which one I've missed. So I'll have to go back to all those locations on a separate thing. Probably the same video when I'm doing the cockroaches and just edit the hell out of it till I find the right one. Just edit down to when I find the one remaining on those and 2 remaining cockroaches. It'll be a very, very short video. Unless I roll it into some other stuff, towards the late game stuff. But of course...
Come here!
Wrong tool. Yeah, that's how that works, that's fine. You're really not going to comment on what just happened? We just tore the cave down, pretty much. Just by ringing a bell there. So now it's time to capture this guy. Our flower ring. And this is actually the last one of these as well. Toad Shade. One thing I generally like about the fairy design in these in the series is that the fairies kind of have.
You're friends with Phlox and Trillium, aren't you? They live in the garden. There's a house for you too. Don't worry, I won't hurt you.
There we go, captured her. Lost my train of thought there. That was bad timing from my part, sorry. But what I was going to say was I quite like the way they designed a combination of human, plant, and insect. It's an interesting kind of synergy of ideas. But we need to get this will-o-wisp down here, so come on. Cheeky. There we are. There's Olmo. And that's also our final Will-o'-the-Wisp as well. We've actually not got many fairies left to go. By the end of this video, we'll have all but one. But let's just finish this route up here, shall we? Because we remember there was something we couldn't do as Jared, but we saw a clue for what something Simon could do. The second part of one of his quests. Take care of these guys first, though. After falling off the cliff like an idiot. There we go, that's better.
I own you. Nailed him.
I'm glad I noticed this to that big guy before he surprise attacked me. Because those guys are nasty if you don't take care of them. Let's just get this little goblin somewhere else. There we are. That's better. Where the last goblin's gone. So let's get up here, shall we? And actually solve the puzzle. And ring the bell.
These godstones are the bomb. Oh, that.
And there's the second of these guys. The second knockers.
I can do something with this.
That's easy to miss. I completely forgot that was there.
Hi. Got anything for me?
Many gobstones. Enjoy.
Another gobstone.
I mean, you don't really get much for doing the side quests when it comes to actual prizes. Because it's just ammo, really, but it's still nice to have the extra ammo, even if you never really use much of it. And it's more nice to get them for the world building more than anything else. You don't really care about the prizes, you more care about meeting these new characters and everything like that. It's like the garden fairies and the knockers, that kind of thing. And these guys, the tree folk. See, now we have the acorn. We can actually do something with these guys.
I wonder where this goes.
You see, each pair of tree folk actually link together, forming a tiny little teleportation system, only with 3 connecting points, but yeah. By connecting points in theory, there's only 2 sets of trees. What I meant by that was, of course, this area, the underground area, and the quarry are the 3 linked areas. That's what I meant by the 3 linked hub thing. Even though there's like only 4 trees.
Interesting.
So let's free ourselves of this area and pick up one last item we also missed here, the Phoenix
I can do
Feather.
something with this.
So let's skip ahead, shall we, to this thing that I missed last time like an idiot. Whoops! Hanny Banani. Fun name. But now we've got her, it's time to move on. By crawling through here, we actually get to this tree right in the middle up here.
Beam me up.
Cypress. Yes, very cute, Simon. Little Star Trek joke. Well done. I kind of like how sparse the tree folk are because it gives them a kind of rarity of them that I feel kind of helps their mystique. Like they're not just kind of everywhere like fast travel points tend to be. That would kind of... They kind of lose a bit of mystique if there were so many of them. But the fact there's only 2 sets of them gives them a kind of an aesthetic similar to the rest of the creatures in the forest. Like maybe there used to be more of them here, but maybe because they were considered threatening, the ogre might have destroyed them. That kind of thing. It implies stuff. And of course, to continue this section of the plot, we actually need to feed the 5 salamanders to the griffin, but that will actually commence the endgame stuff. So I'll be holding off on that. So back to the cypress. And it actually, much like the other tree folk, it gives us a leaf. Yeah, there's exactly 2 cypress leaves. And this pot, no, 2 leaves rather, cypress and oak. And this pot there wasn't actually there before. It spawned now that we have 3 of the garden fairies. Because now this is the final garden fairy. So let's get him, shall we? Or her, or if these guys have any gender that I'm not really aware. Of course I made a mistake here, thinking they came out this way. But it's actually flitting around over by the pond. So it's a nice little area now that it's completely empty, now that our sister has completely cleared the place out of all goblins. But yeah, here he is, cheeky. This is also, actually, our final Leafwing sprite. Featherwing, rather. Which also means our final health upgrade finally comes from him as well. Quite like how regal the Liverwings work.
But
look.
Don't you owe me 1 free use of your power? You're the last of the emissary sprites, aren't you? The rest are in the garden. There's 1 last home for you. What do we have here?
And there's our full health bar. 8 leaves. And I'm not sure, but it seems as if the leaves actually get a little bit stronger with each leaf as well. Like maybe they take longer to actually knock down the leaf, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if that's the case. But we also have our final dash guy, so let's use him, shall we? To complete the fairy race. Here we actually have to be a little careful and let the fairy spawn at least the first checkpoint, because I tried to do this right off the bat and it was regrettable. So we'll just do it a little after. So also the fairy, while it's at the maximum length of time it lasts and the maximum speed boost, it still doesn't last forever, because it always runs out about here, which means we need a good head start by using it to actually get ahead of the really fast flying fairy that's currently chasing us down. But happily, if we get that much of a head start on it, we're generally fine. It's a very forgiving race.
More ammo for Jared's slingshot.
So you know we completed it, you get like 5 of everything, that's really nice. So that's this fight race complete, which is quite nice. So next, let's actually speak to the garden fairies, and complete their side quest by blooming the entire garden. In the order we found them, it feels more appropriate that way. Toadshade first.
Ah, sweet. Yeah.
There we are.
That fruit.
This one's a little annoying because for some reason it's not quite correlated to where the fairy is in relation to you. It's more... I don't really know what makes the prompts show up, but the fact that it vanished there really annoyed me because it took me a bit to try and get into a sweet spot to get another prompt to actually talk to a level leaf. Here we go. And now they've spawned. Now they've bloomed the final part of the garden as well. So we've got all the garden spikes floating around as well, which is quite nice. The birdhouses are all occupied. So next, let's allow the autosave to kick in. And due to how much wandering around there'll need to be for the actual, like, final few side quest things, next time I believe it will actually be the finale of the game. Of the actual story, at least. But for now, though, let's give Sam another bit of a break, because that was quite a long jaunt around the woods. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye.